Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Reach Podcast Show with Ellis, where every show reaches beyond the ears of the listeners. As you can see, we have three young kings in the studio. Well, I would say our virtual studio. What's up to my fellas? Y'all see them coming in all shape, forms, and fashion, with the things that we're doing with them. But today is designed for us to hear from the youth and get things that we are all dealing with and understand the perspective that they see it from. And for us to be the shoulders that they can stand on and also be the shoulders that we can progress on by feeding into them and giving back to them and allowing them and their voice to be heard. So that's what today's show is all about. And we're going to just share some different things and just show the support that we need to give these young men in hopes that the other youth and their peers can actually attach to the message that we're trying to display. Everything from the coronavirus transitioning to the next school year, and how they see those things. And then what does the power of male influence mean to them? And then also the police shootings. I mean, we can't do this show without having that. I have some special things that I have planning on happening on this show today. So y'all stay locked in with us. It's the Reach Podcast Show. So, fellas, man, I'm glad to have y'all on here. You know, we see each other every day. Y'all been getting y'all a little workout on. And so what I want y'all to do is introduce yourselves to everybody. Let me get y'all unmuted. And so what we'll do, we'll start with Hezz. We'll keep a little order. We'll go with Hezz, then we'll go with Chris, and then we'll go with Dailon. So y'all just introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Hezekiah Smith. I go by Hezz, and I go to Dulles High School right now.
Hello, my name is Chris.
What grade you going to, man?
Oh, I'm going to 10th grade.
Going to 10th grade. That's what's up. Sir. That's what's up. All right. Big Chris.
Hello, my name is Chris Gansallo. I go to Dulles. Going to 10th grade. Just ready to ball.
Ready to ball out. And that's a kid that got a big heart. They all got a big heart, but y'all will see more of what I'm talking about. Chris just has that don't quit mentality even when he's ready to just fall out on his face, man. And you made some great progress, Chris. I'm proud of you. All right, Big Dailon.
My name is Dailon Ellis, the son of LeVar Ellis, and I'm going to Hightower, 9th grade year.
Going to Hightower. So we have, this is what I call peer mentorship right here. Hezz and Chris, y'all have already experienced y'all's first year of high school. We got Dailon coming right behind y'all. I know y'all talk about it. Y'all know to tell him what to expect. Probably got y'all girl talk thing going on, but nah, I'm just playing. But, the point is, I know y'all going to feed into him and give him an opportunity to know the things that maybe you wish you would have known, some things that it may be more beneficial to know and understand just how to navigate the new waters. So Hezz and Chris, I'd like to talk about that. Even though coronavirus shut down the year, how did that affect your 9th grade year? Let's talk about that part. And from going into high school and then having interrupted abruptly with this change and this new normal, how did it affect your 9th grade year? How did you feel starting off in 9th grade? Let's start there.
I felt kind of nervous, but as the year went on, I got more comfortable. And grades, I made sure my grades was up. And when Corona impacted, it kind of made everything different on online school. And it was kind of different because it was my first year in high school, so it kind of messed everything up.
Absolutely. Chris?
Me, I just came into 9th grade humble. But really, what I got to tell Dailon, to you, man, just don't go in there with the 8th grade mindset. That's gonna mess you up very wise, because they don't treat you like 8th grade no more. They teach you straight like high school. And that's a big thing, especially for a lot of football players, 9th grade freshmen. That's what messed up a lot of people. Just got focused on that. But me, I just came to 9th grade humble. That affected me, but I got out with the program. And I just kept going there, stayed humble, respected all my teachers, got my grades in. And just kept moving. But with Corona messed up for my 9th grade year, spring ball in second semester, getting in grades, trying to maintain my A's and B's.
Yeah.
And
definitely
online school. At first, online school was weird, but when you get the hang of it, then that's how you just catch on. And all your grades just start coming in.
Well, yeah. because you gotta like kind of worry about your GPA now. It's different from middle school because after your 4 years, all the seniors tell us you're on your own. Either you're going to college or you're doing something different. So you gotta make sure from your freshman year. They say your freshman year is your important year, your most important year. So you gotta make sure you do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And what I'm hearing from all of y'all, well, I guess I should say from both of y'all, and Dailon, you already know I stay on you about the grading, the schooling and your grades, and that's what I'm hearing from you two as well, Chris and Hezzy, is that the grades is what's most important. We haven't even talked sports yet, and y'all are already talking about the grades. I love to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely the message that everybody needs to hear. You need to worry about your grades. And you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and step up to the plate because ain't nobody babysitting you no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's important for you to develop that mindset that it's time for me to take care of my business. Not that you wasn't doing it before, but it's definitely time to recognize that. Would that be a fair statement? Is that how y'all feel about it? You got to man up, like we tell you.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Dailon, what do you expect going into high school? What are you feeling right now? What's something that you're looking forward to? What's something that maybe has you nervous? And the reason I ask you that is that the purpose of my show is for people to share their stories, their experiences, and it's going to be definitely at least one person that you're going to affect. So there may be another student that's watching or will watch, that can't catch it live, but they're going to check it out later. And they're going to be like, oh, man, I feel that way. You might help them to be able to open up and express themselves and find maybe the help or the mentoring that they need. So what's something that, you may be a little nervous about or something you're excited about?
Well,
what do you say?
I ain't gonna say I'm nervous because, you gotta keep on going in life. So high school, like my friends telling me now, grades and all that is important. So my first thing gonna be grades to worry about. I'm gonna make sure I stay on top of them from the beginning of the year to the end, from freshman all the way through senior year. Make sure it's right. Stay on it so I can go to college because college is more important to me right now. And I want to go to Oregon because it's my favorite college. So if I gotta get my grades right every day, stay up late, make sure my grades right, hit it in the morning for sports, that's what I gotta do. And that's what I'm just ready for high school.
Ready to ball out, man. I understand that. And are you guys, see, here's another thing. I didn't even talk to y'all about this, but the career you're going to pursue. We obviously already know all you guys are big time football players. We're going to cover that journey, a little bit too. And I'm going to get y'all ages as well. We forgot to mention your ages so that people can relate and understand. Have you guys thought about at this point what you actually want to pursue, as a career? Hezzy, we'll start with you.
Yes, sir. I want to go to the NFL and I want to be a music artist. When I go to college, I want to major in business marketing or journalism. It doesn't really matter. Yes, sir. That's what I want to do when I'm older.
I'm gonna have to hook you up, my man. I hope Garrick is watching, man. Shout out to you, Garrick Jones, GM for the Houston Texans coming. We're gonna keep speaking that to existence, but that's definitely somebody that I definitely need to hook you up with. But Chris, what do you say?
Well, me, you already know NFL, but that's my second option. Of course, will be I want to major in college on criminal justice because that's what my father was into, and I want to just fulfill his dream if I don't make it to the NFL. But that's it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
And here's the thing too. Keep in mind, with these careers, it's not a if I don't make it to the NFL because you can do both. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely do both. But I definitely understand where you're coming from. But just remember, that education and your pursuit to what you want to do is definitely something you can do both of them. But Dailon, what have you thought about it yet?
Yeah, I've been thinking on it. But most important, I want to do sports, football, basketball, baseball. Those are my main things right now.
Okay. And, you'll identify coming out of the 8th grade. It's just something that you guys want to lock in and try to aim after a lot faster than you trying to figure it out. And of course, you'll go through life, you'll change your major when you get in college. That's something else that can happen. But the thing is you just want to try to find your purpose in life a lot faster than others have, and that just helps you with your path in life to go a little bit faster. So let's give, for people that are just tuning in, give your name, give your age again. Hezz, we'll start with you because we didn't give your age last time.
My name is Hezekiah Smith. I go by Hezz, and I'm 14 years old.
14.
Yes, sir.
Big Chris?
My name is Chris Gansallo. I'm 16.
16 years old.
My name is Dailon, Ellis.
Sir.
I'm 15 years old.
You kind of low, Dailon. Talk up.
My name is Dailon Ellis, and I'm 15 years old.
All right. So, Chris, you the oldest, 16, 15, and 14. And these are our three young kings that we have on the show this morning. And we're basically just discussing several issues that affects them at their age, just introducing the schools that they're going to and the paths that they're thinking about pursuing right now. And just having a conversation with them this morning. And the other thing is, I keep forgetting about my comments. We have our comments going live this morning. Let me just address some of those. And y'all can see it on the screen. You got my mom saying good morning. Michelle Daniels is chiming in, somebody. Dailon, your sister. Armani said what's up. Your cousin Michelle said what's up. Miss Joetta. And then my mama crying. She said she proud of y'all. Coach Guillory, he said what's up. Coach Guillory said what's up. Y'all can see that. And we have quite a few other people. Coach Smith said what's up. So as y'all can see, you definitely have people that are chiming in. So next thing I wanted to get to was, with the things that are happening in society right now, right? You're hearing about the coronavirus, you're hearing about the police shooting, all this stuff ties into the mental toughness. And the one thing that I want to cover right now is this coronavirus. What has it meant to you to be basically on lockdown, being locked in the house, not being able to move around and go anywhere? I just want you guys to share your experience and your knowledge from your standpoint. I did tell y'all about this. We'll talk about the corona, and just wanted y'all to give y'all's perspective. Because all you're getting right now, I'm sure, is Chris, not really knowing much about your household, but Hezz and Dailon, y'all already know is nope, you can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You're getting that from the parents. But what do you see? How do you feel about it? And Hezz, we'll start with you again.
I don't really like staying in the house, but I get the reasons that we have to. But I don't really have no feeling about it, but I do at the same time because I don't like it, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What
is the thing that you get about it? What do you get about it?
I get that people are out here dying, getting really sick. So I get why my parents tell me you can't go here. I get why they say you got to stay in the house. It's not fun, but you have to do it.
Right. Okay. Big Chris?
Me, how I feel about corona is like not going outside the house. That's a big impact for me because I'm a socializer. So I like going outside the house. I like hanging out. But it really affected me just not going out of the house. But I understand why the government's doing it, because people are getting sick, people are dying. That's not good. We're trying to end that. But me, I'm all for it too. I want to end that too, so we can get back to living a normal life. That's pretty much
all right. Dailon? Oh, I gotta unmute him. I'm sorry. Dailon.
Yeah.
How you feel about it?
I feel corona. I believe it because of my dad. My mom told me they're like people out here getting sick. I see it a lot on the news and all that. So it's hard because I'm in sports. I can't stay in the house a lot. Can't stay still. It's just hard for me. So I just gotta get used to it. Play the game, do my work, try to get something to distract me from doing just push-ups every now and then, every time. But if it's keeping us alive and I'm not dying and my family is staying safe from everything, I'm good. I can keep on going.
Right. So, and that's good, because we know it affects everybody. So the thing from an adult perspective, which I hope everybody is doing, is finding a way to better yourself, right? During this time, we we often say we don't have time to do this, we don't have time to do that. Y'all go to school, y'all have to operate on your parents' schedule and move around the way we can because nobody's driving right now. But in this downtime, as I call it, what is one of the things that you have taken upon yourself? And Hezz, I already know something you did. We're going to display that in a minute with your musical genius. But what is some of the things or one thing that you have done to improve yourself? And let's not even talk about the working out right now. Let's go with something else. What is something you've chose to do to better yourself in this time of being down that you can concentrate on?
Well, what I've been doing to improve myself, because like I said earlier, I do want to be a music artist. I've been working with my big brother Zay in the studio. We just been working. He's helping me a lot, improving myself as a songwriter, my vocals, all that type of stuff. You feel me? Yes, sir.
All right. And so, I wanted to play it a little bit later, man, but I'm going to play it right now, since we're talking about it. Guys, when I tell you this young man is talented, the whole family is talented when it comes to music. And the producer on this is his big brother, Zay. Y'all may have caught him on Mika's show when we all came and blessed her show with the musical talent by his older brother. But this song, and this is just unfinished business, unfinished work, because it's important that we understand that. But I just want you guys to get a snippet of this young man right here, 14 years old, doing his thing with this song. And so we'll play it right now. So you give the proper introduction to your song, man.
This is called Trisha's Love by Hezekiah Smith, go by Hezz, and produced by Zay Smith.
So what's the inspiration behind the song?
I mean, I was just like, Zay was playing like a track, a sample, and the words just came to me. I ain't never met a girl named Trisha in my life, I promise. But it just came to me, and I was like, Zay was like, oh, that's hot. He was like, keep writing to it. And then I kept writing to it. Then he was like, lay this down real quick. And I laid it, and then we just kept going.
Man, when y'all hear the song, he ain't lay it down. He slammed it down. That boy slammed it down. But that's what's up. So here it goes. Trisha by Hezekiah Smith.
Yeah, baby, I messed up. Well, I said it one time. Baby, you messed up, but I guess I don't mind. Yeah, girl, you know love the way you always know what to say to. Baby,
don't bob that head.
You know I never change. Never let a doubt if you change on me. I was up, you make it rain on me. Sweet love, I love it when you say it to me. I tell you that, say you ready to put a chain on me. I know I'm messed up. No, I never should like it. I know you haven't done. But baby, if you ever get it right, yeah, I swear I'll do better by you. Whatever you want me to do, just say the word, I give you the world. Just to make you my girl, Trisha. Tell me what I gotta do to take pictures. I'm gonna get the picture. It's what I Trisha. Oh baby Trisha. Trisha, my baby. She knows she drives me crazy. We go at it, but she is my lady. She does me daily. It's Lord. Trisha, my baby. She knows she drives me crazy. We go at it, but she.
I ain't gonna give him too much, Hezzy. I ain't gonna give him too much. And that's my boy Hezzy, man, on the song. Mika Diamond saying, who's singing? Yes, that's Hezz. Sounding like a little younger Marion. But no, man, that's what's up, So, I know you can't help but to do that in y'all family, man. Y'all are all talented, and that's what's up. We definitely will be supporting that. I promise you on that. And shout out to Zay for producing the track and taking the time with you. But so that's what's up. My mom said nice, Hezz. Grandma Linda said that's nice. Everybody's kicking in. So Chris, what's up with you, man? What is something that you have been concentrating on?
Well, I've really just been concentrating on getting my push-ups down, getting educated more, just doing stuff, reading, doing stuff to get me more educated for next year, just getting ready for 10th year, focusing, just staying humble.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's pretty much it.
And man, you know, Chris, I just love your spirit. So, you know, we're gonna get into the story in just a minute, but I don't even know if I want to share that right now. But Chris lost his dad, right? You lost your dad, you told me at the age of 3, right? You know, you lost your dad
Yes,
at the
sir.
age of 3. And I just want people to think about the effect that has on you, you know, and just having to keep pushing through. But we're going to get into that. And when I found that out, that just changed my whole outlook on when I'm seeing you, you know, doing the workouts, you struggle, but you keep pushing, you know, and that it all ties back to that toughness, man. And I just want you to keep that spirit going, man. All right. So Daylo, I'm sorry, I'm your dad, so let me get it right. Daylo, what's up? What you been working on?
I mean, I'm just been working on expanding my mind, like my mindset about stuff, and just trying to expand like my words. I really want to know more language. Like I want to speak different languages because I know when it comes to sports, traveling, we gonna have to learn like know about like Chinese, Japanese is something, and then I just want to know it. So sounds cool to do. And yeah, that's what I've been trying to do.
And see, that's what's up. That's what's up. Um, that's definitely something that's important. And this is actually the first time that I'm hearing that, you know, and it's one of those moments as a parent, you're like, you never told me that, but that's good. And shout out to our man, Garrick Jones, man, GJ for GM of the Texans. He feeds y'all. And, you know, Garrick, you definitely got to get attached with these boys. So we'll work that out. But Dailon, that's good stuff, you know, and that just gives me another segue into the sports and some of the things that it'll take for you guys to be prepared and be even better. That's definitely something. You know, Hezz, you're bringing the music, maybe produce the soundtracks throughout y'all's years. You know what I'm saying? And Chris, you're going to give them the heart to just keep pushing and surviving and to be able to speak to those kids who might not have the motivation they need. And of course, Dailon, you're going to be the translator, man. You know, so that's good stuff. All you guys, these guys are a solid team. Now it's amazing. I think back to when I was young, all the fellas that I grew up with, you know, the bonds that we created, but also what it takes to stick together over the years. You know what I'm saying? My prayer for you guys is that you guys will be able to remain together, be in touch. You're definitely going to have different paths. You might get disconnected, but I don't want you guys to lose this camaraderie that you guys have built. All right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about a little bit about Little League football, you know, and what that looks like among y'all. You know, Chris, you played for the Raiders, right?
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, Dailon and Hezzy, y'all rock with them Stafford Cobras. You know, always a battle.
You already
So
know.
we'll get into that topic to kind of help people and bring them up to speed who may not understand what that journey was like. You know, it was just awesome watching you guys going from flag football all the way up into contact football and going through your senior year. So, Hezzy, what did that experience teach you? You know, just give me a little something about it. There's so much we could talk about.
Oh yeah.
We'll let Chris and Dailon, we'll let you finish it up.
I mean, the experience, it was good because it taught me how to win. Because every year I played for the Cobras, we went to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Me and Dailon, always down to Dailon, always. But when I got to middle school, we went 0-7. So it could be a good thing and a bad thing, you know. So it teaches you how to win, but you have to have a teachable spirit playing in Little League football because that's when you learn the details of football. That's where you learn the basics, and it's fun. You know, it's fun playing Little League football. You have the music playing. You get snacks after the game. You hear your name on the loudspeaker. And when you go to the Super Bowl, everybody's watching. So you putting down work in the off season, going to them camps for the Cobras, and then you get to go to the Super Bowl every year. That's how I feel.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing about that is that, you know, you said something about having the teachable spirit, you know what I'm saying, and be mindful of what you're learning, teaches you how to win, but at the same time, you know, it probably was a culture shock when you got to middle school and you went 0-7, you know, I can only imagine how you felt with that because, but the good thing is we went to the Super Bowl every year, but we didn't win every Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my man, Sincere Farouk, because we was talking the other day. He reminded us of how we got beat by the Saints in the Super Bowl that year. We didn't get a first down. We didn't get a touchdown. Still mad at Dailon for not running that ball in at the last minute. But it was a close game, But that's definitely something that it teaches you, and it's important. And so let's move to our rival in the moment. We love him, but he's the rival. Since we're talking about Little League. Chris, what do you remember, man? How did it help you?
Man, starting off Little League, I've always been a winner on my team. And my team has always been winning. So since I started off with the Broncos, my flag year, and we went to the Lone Star Bowl, if y'all remember that. We versus Sienna, but we lost. So then we had moved, and I moved to the Raiders. So then, ever since I joined the Raiders, we just been winning straight Super Bowls. Like we winning 4-peat every year, just winning and winning, never lost. So we only went like probably 54-3. Only lost 3 games in 4 years. So like just losing, we barely lost. Like we never lost. So I didn't experience losing to the 7th grade. The 7th grade, that hurt. First game we lost, killed me, killed my heart, killed my soul. I was just so sad. I was like, what do we do to get better? Just trying to better ourselves, better the team, everybody. Just trying to come together, trying to win games. But yeah, it affected me a lot. Transitioning from a winning team to not winning team. Like, if you know what I mean. It's just, Hezz, you know what I mean, bro. It's not a good feeling. But
yeah,
we just practiced, and then 8th year we came all right, 3 and 4. It was decent. But yeah.
That's what's up. And so with that being said, I guess it's something that we clear up for the listeners. I know they're like everybody can't be winning every year. How everybody's saying they was winning, but I believe, Chris, you were a year ahead of Dailon and Hezz, right?
Yeah, I was a year over. Yes, sir. I was a year
because we 61-0 the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. So what that means is that when Chris was a junior, Dailon and Hezz was sophomores, and so that's how Chris is able to talk about being a winner, and Dailon and are able to talk about a winner. It was in the same year, but on a different level. Is basically what that equates to. But it was definitely good times. You know what I'm saying, and I'm glad we're able to have that relatable conversation about winning, and but also the tough losses. And Dailon, you've already experienced that too. Y'all actually did pretty good, but coming into middle school, it's a different ball game. It's not quite the same, and the camaraderie is not there. But what would you say to the young kids or people that are playing right now? How can they get through those tough times? When you talk about it taught you something, what would you give to them right now, and what would you tell them as it prepares for you in a later time, Dailon?
And in middle school, when you first come, especially you come off a great Little League season and all that, you don't expect all that stuff to happen. You don't expect to be losing. I remember my first time losing at Ellis, and it was just like, cause we had a goal that year, 7th grade year, that we was gonna go undefeated, and we end up losing 3 games. When we first lost, I was sad, I was down. I felt like I could have did better, and at the time, I just I think it was just not I wasn't used to it, so it was unexpected, a punch to the face, and then I got upset and stuff. Start talking, we teammates start getting arguing each other, but that was only making us better. So coming 8th grade year, we went undefeated to the playoffs and lost, but we still. I mean, if y'all want to just get better, stay good at football, get better at football, y'all got to keep your heads up at all times. Y'all can't give up because y'all lost 1 game. Y'all got to push for more. Y'all got to think ahead of the future when y'all play better teams, and y'all just got to keep working. And that's the only way you'll get better. You can't.
And I almost forgot. I don't want to steal your moment to talk about Little League too, Dailon. I moved to something else. What is your thing about? You gave advice, but what do you remember about your time?
Hezz.
He say Hezz no.
Everybody know Little League. That was my favorite football. I don't like starting from the Warriors. I don't think y'all know them, but the Little League Warriors team, flag team, my dad knows, family knows, but that was one of my favorite. That was like my favorite year with all my friends. Like we literally dogged that year. We went undefeated, won the Super Bowl, had an awesome coach. Like we were good. And then the thing icing on cake was that everybody used to run away from me when we played flag. It was just crazy. I mean, it was just like a dominant team. So coming to the Cobras, I mean, we was just even more dominant. Got Hezz on the line with me. I got Zach, Dailon, me, Ethan. We had all of them people, and we was just going, just doing our thing. Had awesome coaches, Coach Gilly, Coach Smith, Coach Payne, all of them. We had good coaches at all times. And when middle school came and we lost, when I got my first loss, it was just trash to me. So I didn't really expect losing like that. Plus, I like to compete. My dad know this. I like losing. If I It's just don't rain in my family. We winners. So yep. Little League, Hezz know we was dominant. Coach Smith know. And I see my sister talking.
Yeah.
We went
So,
unscored
yeah,
on junior year.
absolutely.
Unscored
Would you say
on.
head?
When
Say
we
again,
was
head?
when we was juniors, we went unscored on, and then we won the Super Bowl. You know, we got scored on in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. But that, if we talk about, I'm gonna say that for later. But when we was in the Super Bowl and we got scored on,
It will come 10 times worse than it came
yeah,
the first time.
definitely,
We got we wasn't getting used to
Absolutely.
scoring on. We don't get scored on like that in Little
never
League.
that.
Nah.
We got we
And
had two
that's the
better
thing.
coaches.
It's the mindset. It's what you stand for. And I know Chris can relate because we don't want to get too deep into our Cobra stories, Chris. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it was all about. And it's important for us to understand that what we pour into the kids is what they remember. That's the point for me. I'm trying to actually see if I can pull something up. Uh, but it's just it's the type of thing you just don't forget. You know what I'm saying? It sticks with you, and is what builds you up, and it is what creates character. Um, so in relations to building character in your little league, what is something? Do you have an identifiable moment uh, that you can take from little league? Is there an identifiable moment of something that you learned, especially from little league experience?
Hey, Chris.
Well, I can start that up. Really brotherhood. That's the main one. Like just being a team, being a family.
Yeah.
Everybody just being a family. Everybody getting along. Everybody doing what they're supposed to do. Everybody just sync and sync. Everybody's just doing what they're supposed to do. And that's what I loved about Little League. That's what forever carried with me. How the brotherhood we had, how we can depend on each other for any little thing we need. And that's what I loved about Little League. And that's what forever stick with me.
Yeah,
Well,
me and Hess could say the same thing, bro.
a moment, that like little league that will forever stick with me is when we won the Super Bowl our first time, junior year, and we had the crowd screaming "Cobras, Cobras." That just showed like all the hard work you put in, it'll all come to light. So like when you're not like when nobody's watching, for us, we was grinding, and it all paid off, kind of, you know. So
Mhm.
that's how it paid off for us.
Yeah, I can speak on that too. Like when it comes to
Jay, what you
practice,
say?
I say I can speak on that too. When we came to practice, no joking around. We probably as soon as we play, Coach Patterson, Coach Smith, all that. It was shut down. We ain't no playing around at practice. We
Squats.
run condition every day, and that's what I get used to. Like I'm used to hearing Coach yelling, talk about y'all playing around, we play around, and then when it come game time, we playing around, we end up losing. So that's what we never like to lose. So we didn't play around at practice. We took practice like it was a game. We always played senior. When we was sophomore, junior, we always played up the level. We always get ready with better and bigger people so we can get used to it and just be better. And thank
Everybody else,
Coach Smith and yep,
definitely.
that's what took my mindset because I'm probably not gonna be the biggest on the court, the smartest or the toughest, but I'm gonna always do my best to outthink you and try to be the best person.
Yeah. And the thing for me is me watching you guys grow mentally, because I haven't even said it much yet, but everything we're talking about relates to your mental toughness, and, I started my organization and my tagline is critical thinking, which AKA equals the mental toughness, So that's something that is very, very, very important. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this thing to come up. But Dailon, y'all remember that Cobra Read the Truth song? Me and Amani came over there to y'all's house. I was trying to get that song to play. I just thought about it. But that Cobra Read the Truth, that was a jam. It may pop up in a little bit. We'll see. But that was what I was trying to get to play, but it won't come up, so we won't worry about that right now. But having that mental toughness and understanding that you guys are definitely learning from your life experiences, and that you are able to verbalize what you learn, is just what we want, as an adult, as a parent, as a coach. We want you guys to take from those experiences and take them into the next steps of your life, and that's where that mental toughness comes in. That's where that critical thinking comes in. As y'all went into high school, Dailon, as you're about to go into high school, what do I remember? What are the things that I can tap into? How can I reach back and pull forward information? And how can I reach back and pull somebody else forward, is what I want you guys to remember, and understand that at all times you have been raised and you have the values that you need in those disciplines. Look, somebody, Miss Rosie, she said, remember those values and disciplines and transfer them to every respect of God. Man, exactly. That's what I was just saying. That is definitely what we want you guys to always remember, because, man, I'm still learning on a daily basis. I can hear my mom in the back of my head when it comes to certain things, and that's what I want you guys to do. And Dailon, I see you laughing. I know you can hear me. You can hear your mom in the back of your head. But that's what it's all about. It's not that we trying to come down on you. We're not mad at you. And I'm never, ever, ever, and I'll say this to you guys, I'm not ever mad at you. I might be a little disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I might be a little disturbed, and when it comes to this, Hezzy and Chris, it'd be like when we're working out together. If I ever see y'all giving up, it's like, nah, man, what coach tell you? Go throw up and come back. That's what it's gonna take, because y'all gonna reach that level when you get to college. Actually, when you get into high school, they're going, okay, you tired? Okay, keep going. Go throw up and come back. So y'all got to understand that. And so that's what we're teaching you guys. So moving on to the next thing is, and again, it's the Reach podcast for anybody that's just tuning in. I'm LeVar Ellis, your host. We got my man Big Hezz. Throw your hand up, Hezzy. We got Big Chris, and we got Daylo, Big Daylo. So we're just talking to these young kings. We're just getting life from their experience and how they see things. And shout out to Miss Sheila. Good morning to you too. We appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Y'all do me a favor, share this video, and make sure that you're giving these young men the support that they need, because it's also important, and we want to inspire all the other youth in their peer group. They're ranging from the age of 16, 15, and 14. And they've been tight since Little League. So you're talking all the way back to 5, 6 years old. And now they're in high school. Dailon is headed to high school. And we're just talking about how they see life and all the things from COVID-19 to the power of football and what it's done for them, their aspirations in the future. And now I want to go into the topic of the male influence. My nonprofit Dad Chronicles has been designed to give you guys the support that you need from a male standpoint, and what a difference that would make if we had more positive male influence, and what it looks like when you have a lack of that, and I've also grown to incorporate the ladies, because I can tell you firsthand, the women's support. All the women that are on my live right now that are commenting, I see you, and I struggle with, and this is just a public confession. I struggle with not including you guys as much as I want to, because it's important to have you guys as part of the movement, but I have to stick to what I'm trying to do. Even though you guys are included, my point is that it's very, very, very important that we focus on our young kings and even our older kings, for them to stand up and be in a position and do the things that we need them to do, because it just makes life better for the ladies. That's how I see it, right? So let's talk about the power of the male influence, you know, and what that looks like. And Chris, I like to start with you because my heart just aches for you. You know, as people know, I grew up without my dad, with the positive influence that I needed, the type of impact, because I now say, after experiencing the things that I've experienced since just last year, I say it's not that he wasn't there. He just didn't leave the impact that I would have liked him to left. You know what I'm saying? But you actually lost your dad. So hopefully you're, you know, we talked about it. Hopefully you're in a space you can talk about this and just get it off your chest. And one thing I want you to remember is that we here for you, you know, and now that I know that, it's some things we're going to do. And just talk about that, man.
Yes, sir. But really, growing up without a father, when I lost him at 3, man, it was heartbroken. My family, we didn't know how to cope with it for a few years. We was just devastated. My mom, she was going through it, needed help. And my brothers, my older brothers, they had no father. So it was we just had to go through football practice and stuff without him, which is really hard. And me as a young kid, my mom's a doctor. So, like, I'll just stay home. My brothers had a hard taking care of me and my little brother every day. So me growing up without a father, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Like, of course, that affected me. And my decision-making at first was, like, bad. I wasn't thinking straight. Like, I was just in a negative place. But then my brothers always tell me, like, don't use that as an excuse. It's not something you should be using as an excuse if you don't make something, or if you, like, not to just give up. Like, don't give up because of that. And me, like, that's just the family code. Like, don't give up just because of family loss. Just accept it, move on, go through life. Me, I just went through life and cope with it.
Absolutely. And so by losing him at the age of 3, in your experience, because everybody is different, do you really remember the bond? Like, do you really remember that at the age of 3? Can you remember having a close bond with him?
I mean, not really, but my brothers would tell me about him. And I just know I really don't even know him like that. You feel me? Like, I don't have no connection. But my brothers just tell me how he was. My mom would just tell me stories, and I'm like, man, he was a good guy, family man, and I respect that. I just want to fulfill. My brother's right now fulfilling his name. He's at New Mexico playing football, just showing out, balling out. My brother, his career was cut short. He could have showed out too at Howard, because he was committed to Howard, but he couldn't go. And me, I'm just trying to show out too, the best I can in my high school, trying to fulfill his name, do everything that he wanted to do, but his life was cut short. I wanted to do everything and, like, fulfill what he wanted to do, like his vision type stuff.
Absolutely, man. And I you know, Ms. Rose is saying, preach, young man. Definitely. So with that being said, you know, that's from the perspective of the youth having a dad, and you have older brothers. So the thing that I take away, I always try to find the blessing or the silver lining. You know, at least you were able to get some insight on him. You know what I'm saying? And I know you probably felt like, dang, why I couldn't get to know him. You know what I'm saying? All those type of things may run through your mind. And the reason I really talk about it again is so that way we can connect with somebody else that's possibly watching, and they can understand that they don't have to give up, man. You know, and I've been saying that since I met you, and to understand that that's just how y'all operate as a family unit, then clearly that's where you got that drive from. That's where you got that motivation. So shout out to your brothers, man. Shout out to your mom. I know she's an outstanding woman. We're gonna have to take time so I can say hello to her and I can actually meet her, you know, one of those days that I'm picking you up. But that's good stuff. So that's one view. And that's crazy. You know, I have 3 of y'all, and all of y'all have a different view, you know, on that male influence. So Hezz, let's start with you. Let's go with you next.
For a male influence, I mean, I got my brothers, I got my dad. My dad has done a lot of stuff for me. You know,
let's talk about what's his name. Let's give him his due, man. What's his name? Coach Smith.
Coach Smith, Charles Smith Jr. I mean, you can know him as yeah, you can know him as the singer-songwriter Charles Smith. You can know him as dad for me, you know what I'm saying? I got my dad does a lot of stuff. He pushes me through my workouts, you know. He's like a father figure for everybody, if you know what I mean. Like
give me, Leslie, I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I want to make sure my man knows. I see you, Ryan. I see you. I'm gonna bring you in just a minute. So the person I want y'all to speak to has entered the studio, but he's in the way. So go ahead, Hezz.
My brothers. I'll talk about Elijah first. Elijah's been through where I'm at right now. Um, Elijah, Elijah was a really, 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 really good linebacker. Elijah had a lot of offers. He was the district defensive MVP. He plays just like me. I try to like model my game after him, and that's like a male for me because he can teach me because he's already been there. You know what I'm saying? So like he can help me on what I have a question on because he made that mistake maybe already. You know what I'm saying? And then if we talk about Isaiah, Isaiah's like dad, but he's the younger version. You know what I'm saying? Like Isaiah, he'll tell you if it's wrong or right, and he'll like help you on the still low. If you know what I mean, like he'll tell you, and then like make you do it the right way, and like make it in a nice way though. You know what I'm saying? Not like dad get on you. You know what I'm saying? But dad's good too. But Zay helps me with music. He's a real reason why I can do runs in my music. I've been practicing that with him since I was like 9 years old. He pushed me through that type of stuff, and yeah, those are my male role models, and that's how I am where I'm at right now in my life. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. And so you've been blessed to not only have your dad, man, but to be blessed with some strong brothers who obviously learned the lessons that you're learning. They already learned those lessons, and that's a big shout out to your whole family unit, and y'all working together. So, that's from perspective of how it helped you. So what has that done for you to live with that every day, to just know, has it made you lazy? Has it made you stronger?
Yeah.
Do you really, really think about it every day? And how do you value that?
Sometimes I'm so used to it, I don't even value it. And you get like used to it and you don't realize how good you actually have it. You know what I'm saying? Some people like Chris has his brothers, but Chris doesn't have his dad. You know what I'm saying? Like I got the whole package, you know what I'm saying? And I thank God for that, cause like I got my brothers that's been through where I'm at in football. I got brothers where I'm at right now in music, and I got a dad that's been through the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And I value it because, like I said, some people don't have that, and I have the whole thing. So my brother Elijah's been through college. He can tell you anything about college. He's been there. You know what I'm saying? He's been to several colleges. He's good. You know what I'm saying? So he can help me through the college process, and I value that a lot.
You hit the nail on the head, man. That's the message that I wanted you to deliver. I already know that's how you feel, but it ain't about me. It's about our listening audience. And that's two totally different perspectives. And now I like to hear from Dailon. How do you see the male influence? Watch what you say. No, I'm just playing. No, speak honestly, speak candidly. How do you view it?
So everybody knows Ellis is my dad. So when I always grow up, Armani Ellis, my big sister, really my little sister, like I say, it was like at first I was jealous because I thought like because she's older than me, so like she was like more like he cared about her more and did stuff for more. And then I started realizing when I got older, she always she act like she's my mom and my dad. Like if they not around, like she is like she always telling me something like what dad would do. What would you think? What would dad like? Always doing that. Stay on me. What would mom do? So like when I like me and my dad, I love him. So like my mom, I know they probably don't get along as much if y'all don't know, but like that, I still got like they love me, so I know they gonna do the best they can do for me, and it's like that's who I need in my corner right now when I got stuff to handle. So when I'm always working out, I always push myself because I always think about my family and like what we have to go through and stuff, and I just try to do better. And my dad, I could take out a lot about him. Like I know so much. When I'm down, he know when something wrong with me, and that's the crazy thing. Cause I don't be saying nothing or nothing. I just I can walk around the house. He like, what's wrong? He can ask questions and know stuff. But like my dad's a good influence. He plays sports. He did everything. Like he knows so much about the game. Like even though he didn't go call NFL and stuff, he still knows much, and he has people that can help me. So I'm thankful for my dad, and I'm just thankful for my family because I know when I get somewhere, they gonna be proud of me and keep pushing me because I'm always trying to get better at what I do, and I just got the right people in my family to do it.
Absolutely, man. Well, I love you, brother. Love all three of y'all.
Yes,
And you
sir.
see what your sister said, huh? Before I take it down, Dailon.
Yes, sir.
And then she
Dailon,
said
want you to
this.
add on something?
Yeah, this what Amani said when you called her your little sister. But yeah, Chris, go ahead. Talk to me.
So I left this part off. A big father figure in my life, especially you, Coach LeVar, and Coach C. Man, just huge, man. I have much love for y'all. Y'all took me in when y'all didn't have to. Y'all picked me up. I do a lot. Y'all go out y'all way just to help me, and it's just a lot. And I really appreciate that because he came to me. He asked me if I want to work with y'all, and that's good. Like I ain't never had somebody who did that for me, type stuff. Like, he offered to
Absolutely.
pick me up because he knows mom be working, my brother be out. He just did a lot for me, and I really respect him for that, and I respect you for that too, for helping me, picking me up and stuff, and dropping me off. That's a big
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all didn't know if I was appreciate that, but I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I
Oh
don't know if I
yeah, I
expressed
know.
it.
You let us
Yeah,
know.
if I don't show expression, yes sir.
So look,
Like
we
I don't
got
know if I
somebody that's
expressed that,
waiting to
but
come in. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Yeah, absolutely. We got somebody that's waiting to come in. I want to bring him in. I don't want to leave him waiting too long. And it's going to
yes sir.
segue us to, and it's right on time. We're going to talk about the current events, and how y'all feel about that. And this gentleman is somebody I've spoken to on two occasions. With the connection and the circle that I have. Let me just go and add him in. Shout out to my man, Mr. Ryan. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, but he is a representation of law enforcement. But what I'll let him introduce himself for a number of reasons. There's, things we want to say and things we don't want to say, but I want him to be on the line as we talk about just the current events, and I want him to be able to give you guys some great information, as well, and to let you guys think about things from a different light, and being an African American man and being part of that community that is just doesn't have the proper light shined on him, and it's for a number of reasons. But what's up, Ryan, man? How you doing?
How y'all doing today?
Good.
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 So introduce yourself to the audience, man. I want to make sure you do it so it's done the proper way.
Man, what's going on, man? I'm Ryan. I work for the federal government. I've been in federal law enforcement for like the last 3.5 years. Yeah, down here working. I work in Houston. Used to work in DC. Used to work in Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, I'm happy to be here with y'all.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes sir.
And this gentleman, I mean, he speaks from the heart. He definitely understands. He's confirmed some things. He's already told me some things that I didn't know. And it's not about us trying um, to make excuses. It's about us having the knowledge that we need to have so we can make better decisions. Because you guys represent the people that are being killed right now. You guys represent our future, and we can't not talk about that. So in regards to the shootings and the lynching of the black man, and then there's always another side to it we'll talk about. So Hezz, we're gonna keep the same order. How do you feel? What do you think about when you hear those things happening?
If I be honest with you, I feel angry. I feel like we shouldn't be treated like that because, like, I feel like we put a lot into the country too. As a black man, my dad always tell me you gotta he always tells me when you deal with something like that, make sure you're smart about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make no he's like, well, he told my brothers like if Zay or Elijah gets pulled over, like be very respectful, have your hands on the wheel type stuff. But I'm like, I'm upset about it, but it's not. I feel like we have to change it. You know, it's hard to explain, but I'm just
Yeah,
upset
I
about it.
understand. Dailon, how do you feel about it?
I mean, like George Floyd. That's how you say his name, right? George
Huh?
Floyd, something like that. That's his name, George
Oh yeah,
Floyd.
George Floyd. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think about like, what if that was my dad on the floor, and like, what if that would just set an impact? Like, I'll be upset just thinking about what's truly going on, and I feel like this shouldn't be happening. But at the same time, you probably don't know what that cop probably got something going on. But at the same time, that's still wrong and out of line when somebody's need like breathing for air or something. So I just think about it like it's just messed up.
All right. And Chris?
Me, how I feel about it, like I just it just really makes me upset because without brothers, man, and that's all I got right now. So if I would have lost my brothers to something like that, some foolishness like that, I'll just be mad. Like I'll be really mad. Like I don't know how I will cope with that, and just that stuff going around. You know, like how families are affected due to their loved ones just dying when they're unarmed or just jogging around the neighborhood. Like, that's not cool, and that needs to be fixed. And we as people, we gotta fix that, but not violently. I just use our words instead of going around rioting and stuff. That's not fixing anything. That's just making stuff worse to me, and that's how I feel.
Absolutely. So what I like to say is that first thing for the listeners and especially for you guys, before he speaks, it has to come from because he's in law enforcement. He can't represent. He can't speak for law enforcement. So anything that he says is from experiences in his own opinion, suggestions, whatever the case may be. And that's just one of the things that he's under. You can't speak for somebody else when they're not in the room. So we can't have any misrepresentation, I guess, is what I would say. But Ryan, what would you share with these guys? I know we talked last night, man, with the George Floyd and a couple other cases. Like, what can you say? There's nothing you can tell them to prevent something like that from happening. But I'd like for you to share some of the things we talked about that first time with traffic stops. Hezzy mentioned the 10 and 2. You had gave some other suggestions on that. Just, I give you the floor, brother. What would you like for these guys and everybody listening to hear?
Well, first I'd like to say, man, I think it's amazing, like platform, just young black men just talking from the heart. I think there's needs to be done. There needs more of that. These type of conversations. As far as like interactions with police when they come, because they're gonna happen. Um, my thing would say it's almost like when you get in the elevator with a white woman, and you almost as a black man have to diminish who you are because you don't want that person to be scared of you. You gotta do the same thing when you deal with police officers. When you pull over, let your back windows down so they can see in your car. When they walk up, so they let you know there's nobody in the back seat holding a gun to them, so they can know that okay, look, I don't have anything to hide. But you can look out, you can see everything up in here, man. Um, already have your stuff out. Let them know like, hey, man, my license is already out, my insurance is on my phone, whatever the case may be. Um, just be respectful, but at the same time, um, understand that you have rights as well. That this cop just can't make you do anything. Um, I think it's important to teach our black men to respect the cops and not fear the cops. I think 'cause when you fear the cops, then you start reacting differently. Um, and I think to understand that it's healthy to know that they have authority, but it's also that healthy to know that you have rights as well, and that they just can't do anything to you justifiably. Um, I think for black men, we have to understand that a lot of times police officers don't interact with us when they arrested somebody or when they're dealing with a situation. And what happened with George Floyd, man, that's probably not the first. That's not the first time. That's not the first time that cop had his knee right there. This is the first time somebody died that we know about. Um, you know, I believe that you should never touch some. You should never go for the neck unless you're in a fight for your life. Unless you're in a situation where you have to. I feel like the neck should be off limits. Um, in that situation, it was hard because you actually saw a man losing his life on video, man. It was hard to watch because you like, man, we talking about somebody who they allegedly passed a fake $10 bill. That you don't even know if this person knew that the $10 bill was when he was given the $10 bill, if it was fake or not, and to lose his life for a nonviolent, accused of a nonviolent crime, to lose his life for. I mean, it pains. Then to know the dude from Houston, and people that knew the dude, and um, it kind of like brings it to your front door. Like, man, this is a little closer to home than we used to think it is. A lot of times, we don't really we hear about these things, but we don't know anybody that knows the people, or we don't know the person's family or things like that. So it's like, okay, yeah, it's just another one of us. But this one kind of hit home for a number of reasons. Partly because you see from the beginning to end, you watch the dude, you watch the dude literally his eyes roll back in his head. And it looks like, I don't know if that was pee. It looked like almost like the dude peed on himself. And I don't know if that came from the car, that came from him. You watch the blood come from his mouth, and it's just like, okay, you really like watch a guy lose his life and take his last breath and say, and you watch a 46-year-old man cry for his mama and say, I'm about to die here, and then he actually dies. And you think to yourself, well, how could we avoid this from happening? I don't have the answer to that. Because there was nothing he could have done differently. He was laying there. He was laying there. All I can say is, when I watch the video again, that I would encourage more black men to get in law enforcement, because what could have stopped it is one of those 4 police officers that were standing around. What could have stopped it is that Asian cop standing right there. He had decided, no, hey man, get off his neck. But we have to, just like we need more black men and teachers. We say, well, we look at stats. A black boy is more likely to go to college. We have a teacher before this grade or whatever. I don't know the stats, but you read them all the time. Same thing as law enforcement, man. If we want to affect change in the police department, we have to be inside the room. We have to be able to say, you know what, man, look, that's not cool. We're not gonna do him like that. But on the street, I can't do it because they're gonna say I'm interfering with an investigation. I'm gonna get arrested. I can't come push the cop off the dude. Now it's off to the police officer. I can't. But when you're in there, when you are one of them, you say, hey man, you can't do that around me. It's like, okay, that's all I can come up with, how to change that. I would just encourage our young men to not be scared of the police. Don't think every time that you have an interaction with the police, they're gonna shoot you. You can't live your life with that kind of fear. And more times than not, the police it's a job where you can't be wrong. Okay. But I'll venture to say more times than not, uses of force situations and things like that are more justified. But we hear about the ones that they're not, and it sounds a bad light on the thousands and thousands of good police officers out there. And there are amazing ones. I know a number of them. And we have cops like the guy in Minneapolis that shines a bad light on the entire profession. But the vast majority of police officers got on the job because they want to affect change, because they want to keep the community safe, because they're good at what they do. And the vast majority of them aren't bigots, they're not racist. And hell, I don't even know if this situation was solely racist. Like, he did it because he's a black man, but I know it happened to a black man. It's a hard situation. It's a hard situation, man. I don't have the words for it. I just know that what I would like for more of us to do is start figuring out not so much why it happened, but how can we stop it from happening again?
Yeah, absolutely. And the message that I'm hearing is we have to become involved in the situation. Not everybody wants to be a cop, but there are some people who definitely wants to get into law enforcement, and that's another way and a solution that we can help with this. And as one of our listeners said, we've told them this, we told them that, and they still die. And the cops can get away with anything.
You know what though? If you don't want to be a cop, you know what you can do? Go to jury duty. See, a lot of times people dread jury duty, right? I don't want to go. How can you expect a fair, equitable administration of justice if you're not in the room when it's being applied? Go to jury duty. Oh my God, it was they had an all-white jury. Well, how many black people got that summons and didn't go? How many black people got that summons and said, "Oh, I'm gonna use one of these excuses on here to get out of jury. I want to be down there all day, right?" Not knowing that the case they were getting pulled for was a case for the cop that just murdered an unarmed black man. everybody has a role to play in this, man. We all have a role to play. And I'm not saying everybody needs to be a cop, but there are ways. Go vote, man. Not just every 4 years, but that next November in 2021 when it's a local election. You want to know why? Because your local your justice of the peace, they deal with truancy. Your local judges deal with citizens and all this other stuff. Those are the ones that have the effect on us. But we don't go out and vote for those things. Then we wonder why our policies and things that push our agenda aren't at the forefront of their mind because we're not the ones to put them in office. So you're right. Everybody doesn't have to go out and be a cop, but everybody has a role to play and make sure this doesn't happen again. And you just have to play your role and understand that, you know what, this is all I can do. I don't think that tearing up cities and looting is right because, and truth be told, they only loot. If you look back at what happened to Rodney King, right? They looted in L.A. and even what happened to Minneapolis just like they looted in L.A. and Minneapolis all night, whatever. When they start pushing towards their areas, they stopped. They told that target in Minneapolis yesterday. Well, that y'all told the target in y'all neighborhood. You the ones being affected, man. Like, as black people, gotta understand that, man. Look, this is systemically we're disenfranchised. We get that, but how do we take control of our situations ourselves? And I think we're not having enough conversation about that. Like, we know what happens, but how do we keep it? What can we do collectively, individually, to play our individual and collective roles to make sure this doesn't happen? Go to jury duty. Sit on those jury panels. We're tired of black men getting sentenced to prison time for a crime that for a longer prison sentence than their white counterparts. Go sit on the jury. It only takes one vote. They can't convict somebody without it only takes one vote.
Yeah. And what that looks like for me, and this is for you guys, the point again is for you guys to get something to take back with you, to think about and to mull over, as they would say, and remember these things. Again, Ron, I appreciate you for having the guts to speak and stand up. And we're gonna put that conversation together that I was talking about that I had to postpone because so many things happened and the order came down and people couldn't speak out like they wanted to. But Chris, Dailon, and Hezz, this is for you guys to just as simple as if you hear your parents around the house saying, "Man, I don't want to go to jury duty," you guys are growing up. And that's what I tell you, Dailon, about speaking respectfully and responsibly. If you hear your parents saying they don't want to go to jury duty, I want you to remember this conversation. And Dailon, you tell me, Hezz, you tell your dad, Chris, you tell your mom, hey, I need y'all to go to jury duty. But Ryan, go ahead. I see you say something.
When y'all with y'all friends, man, if y'all see y'all friends in a situation, or if y'all see y'all friends in a situation with the police, man, don't leave them. Hey, man, police can say, you got to go. It's a public street right here, man. I'm standing on a public street. I have the right to be here just like you have the right to be. I'm not interfering in anything you got going on. You look at things like if you're in a situation like that, man, look, I don't know how old you are. I'm under 18, man. Got called. I need my parents here with me. I need you to call my parents.
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to tell them about. Tell them about that part. We talked about that. How they handle themselves. I don't think any of them are driving, but they're not far from it. So, what would you tell them when they get stopped by the cops?
What I would say is that, when you get stopped by the police, now juvenile law, adult law, so y'all have so many more rights than adults because you're juveniles, and you should use those rights to your advantage. Like, you can't be interviewed without your parents. You could not be in. I don't. They ask you. I don't know, man. I don't have. I gotta get consent from you and me both. Gotta get approved from my parents to talk. Don't ever tell them anything about your parents around. If when you do start driving, let them know, man, this isn't my car. This is cars registered to my dad, cars registered to my mom. I can't provide you consent to search it. They have to provide you consent. Things like that. When you're with your friends, man, if one of them is being spoken to by the police, give them room. But just stay there and watch, man. Keep your phones out. We all use our phones for everything else. Record that interaction because you never know when it might. You never know what you might catch on that interaction that could save your friend. Hell, could save his life sometimes. That could save his life. The police do not like being recorded. They don't. They hate it, but they can't stop you from doing it. They hate it because it holds them accountable. You can't lie. You can't hide a video. You can't say I didn't say that when you can hear it and you can see the face, you can see the badge number. But they don't like it. But it does say, man, look, this is gonna hold you accountable. So whatever you do, just know it's gonna be able to play back. Whatever you say, that little extra punch you throw in there, that little twist of the handcuffs, whatever you do, man, it's on camera, and that's gonna hold them accountable in that moment. Um, I, they don't like being recorded, but you can. But I think everything can be done respectfully. I'm not saying grab your phone, stick in the cop face, and say, "Hey, Mr. Cop, I'm recording you. Hey, man, I'm just letting you know, man, for your safety and for mine, I'm gonna record this." It's a way of it's a way of going about everything, Mr. Policeman. Look, I'm not really comfortable with what's going on. I'm just gonna go ahead and record this just in case we need it later on. He can't tell you not to. You're not allowed to. Why am I not allowed to record it? You can record me. I can record you. That's the thing that most people don't know you can do, but you can. Hey man, I'm not saying I'm not saying escalate the situation. I'm not saying start talking stupid to the police and start cussing. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because you gotta understand, they're dealing with a lot of situations. They're looking at a lot of things. They're looking at your hand mode. They're looking at a lot of different things. Because at the end of the day, their job is to go home safely that night too. You want to go home safe. They want to go home safe too. So I'm not saying escalate the situation. But I'm saying know that you do have rights, and that you can exercise those rights in a respectful manner.
Yeah, absolutely. And so to validate things that you're saying, are you able to talk more about what you do in the job? Are you able to discuss that?
Yeah.
So people can know, validating your experience.
Well, so like what I do is I supervise and serve felony warrants. I deal with federal crimes. I used to work for Harris County when I lived in Houston. When I first time I lived in Houston, so I was on the streets. But now I just I deal a lot with the federal penitentiaries, reentry. I did training. I've done training at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Glencoe, in Brunswick, Georgia, at Glencoe, which is in Brunswick, which is where Ahmaud Arbery was killed, South Carolina, things like that. I mean, I do a myriad of different things. Not so much as far as like I'm not hands on the streets like I once was, but I do a myriad of different things now though. All of it's tied into federal law enforcement, supervising.
But you definitely do that. That's my thing. You've been in the street.
Yeah. I did 4 years for Harris County. So yeah.
And you're a young brother too, and you can still relate to the streets.
Right. I'm only 29, man. I'm only 29, man. I've been doing this since I was 21. And I think even at 21, starting out fresh out of college, it was different because you see things and you see how things, you've been in situations and you've seen how things went badly, and I've always believed you treat people with dignity and respect, and that's why I can speak to the fact that the more of us that are in the room, the more change we can make. The more of us that, and then the thing is, once you have friends that a lot. When you're a teacher, you know a lot of teachers. When you're a hooper or a football player, you know a lot of hoopers and football players. When you work in law enforcement, you know a lot of people in law enforcement. I know a lot of people in law enforcement. And I would venture to say most of them are very good people. I'm not saying they can never be in a situation where their judgment is questioned, but off their character, I would say they're good people. And that's what I would sit here and encourage people to do when these situations happen. That cop made a bad decision. He needs to atone for it, and he should. I'm not sitting here saying he's above reproach, or he's above being he's above paying for his actions. He took life. He should pay for that. I would also want people to understand that just because a person makes a decision in that moment doesn't mean they're a bad person, or doesn't cloud their whole career. And I need people to understand that, like, it's a job. It's a dangerous job, and it's a job where you can't make those kind of mistakes 100%. But it's also a job where your whole career could be called into question on one mistake you made.
Yeah.
And so,
And look, Ron, and because we're getting close, I want to address a couple things, make sure we get this stuff in. And
okay.
I don't want to go into too far because, it's so much to talk about, man. And hopefully we can get those things out. But shout out to Miss Tanya Wilkinson. And if you can see the statement on the screen, you know, it's hard. We can't make the necessary changes for Floyd, for Ahmaud Arbery, because they're gone, and that's why we're talking about the jury duty. All we can do in the immediate is to start the change and change the course of action for the things that can be done, and hopefully it changes over time. But for the immediate action, that's going to come from on high. And my efforts is to give back to these youth right now so they can understand and they can start spreading the word, and we can do better. But what would you say to a comment like this, Miss Tanya? How would you address that? And I think we've already said it. I mean, there's really nothing we can say. If we tell them all the things to do, and they happen to run into this guy who used his knee, if they happen to run into an officer like that killed Sean Reed, I mean, what can you say? There's nothing you can say to prevent that from happening because it's not on the victim.
I would say that in situations like that, and we talked about it, I don't have the answer to how you avoid that from happening, other than man, look, I if you think that your life is being taken, you deserve it, right? You deserve to fight for your life.
Yeah.
And I think that in that situation, man, it would have been better. It would have been better for Floyd to fight for his life or to try to move or whatever the case may be instead of being compliant. Because at the end of the day, he lost his life, and I don't have the answer for that, and I wish I did. And I've been thinking about this answer for 2-3 days. What do I tell people when I'm asked? Well, man, I'm doing everything right, man. I'm laying right here. I'm being respectful, and this cop still has his knee on my back, on my neck. What do I do?
And then the crazy thing, he gave the cops the suggestions like knee me in the nuts, excuse my French, put your knee somewhere else. So it's nothing we can speak to that situation. There's nothing I don't do all that.
Yeah. I don't have that answer because I think it's so much I think that we have to. That was a mistake that cop made, and those cops that were around him, they have to atone for it as well. They all were complicit in George Floyd's death, and I think that when you have situations like that, it's almost like that those random occurrences that happen in life. And I'm not saying police brutality is random at all. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
But I will say that every situation of police brutality isn't a cause for us to take up. So, but I believe that this is the cause because it is so blatant and so overtly wrong that this is the one that's going to shine the light to what is going on in America. Hopefully, policies change. Police departments make a policy that unless you're in a fight for your life, you can't touch the neck. So they can start holding these police officers accountable. But saying, man, we have it in black and white. We have it in black and white that says unless you are in a situation where you feel like your life is in danger, you cannot touch this guy above his shoulders.
Yeah.
I don't.
And it's time for us to stand behind that, and as a people as a whole to get behind the things that we're seeing. Do your part. That's what I would say on that. And like I say, just for the sake of time, I hate to cut it short, but Ryan, I know we're gonna continue this conversation. But the last thing before you go is I would like for you to talk about the misconception I had, and that's the training. Man, Ryan, why y'all don't? I know y'all are trained to shoot to injure. Why we shooting to kill so much? And what you told me, you're not trained to shoot to injure. You're not necessarily trained to shoot to kill. Talk about that answer. You're trained to shoot to stop the threat.
We're trying to shoot to stop the threat. We're not trying to injure anybody, or we prefer not to, man. I pray I never have to shoot nobody. But if I do, you have to shoot them until the threat is eliminated, until that person goes down, or until they drop their weapon, or whatever the situation may be. And that doesn't mean shoot them in their arm. That doesn't mean shoot them in their thigh.
And that's a split-second decision.
It's a split-second decision, man. We have trainings, we have simulated trainings, and I've made the wrong decision in simulated training. And I know I'm not racist towards my own people. I don't think I'm racist towards anybody's people. But I've made the wrong decision based on a myriad of different factors, man. You got somebody who's been yelling at you, cussing at you, whatever the case may be, and they reach for that back pocket. Most guns are kept in the waist and in the back. So you got somebody reaching for back there, most likely it's going to be a gun. If you know that, and they reach back there and it just happens to be a cell phone, wow, I made a mistake, but now I have to atone for that mistake. So it's a job, man. We're all humans. If we look at it like this, like, man, we're all human beings, right? And all of us have made a mistake at our jobs. It's just most of us don't have jobs where our mistake can take somebody's life. That's why doctors have to have malpractice insurance. That's why teachers have to pass certifications. We make mistakes in our job. It's just that when you make a mistake like of this magnitude, it's on CNN, it's on MSNBC. People are writing about it, and you're not allowed to make that mistake. But yeah, when you have to make the decision, you deadly force, man. At that moment, you just have to. You're not worried about no bullet count. You're not worried about let me shoot one time. Is you shoot to eliminate the threat, and then once you feel at that moment the threat stop. See, a lot of times we don't have. People always wonder why these cops don't get convicted, and the answer is because the burden of proof is at that moment the cop reasonably feared for his life, and if you can prove that at that moment you reasonably fear for your life, you'll be fine. It's not what they felt 5 days later when all the facts came out. At that moment in that back alley, when you thought that wallet, that dark wallet, was a gun. Because this man's been yelling, he has a gun, and the person that called 911 said they saw a gun. And he pulled that wallet from his back pocket after he's been yelling for F you. At that moment, you thought it was a gun.
It becomes a whole new situation, and I get it. That's what we want people to try to understand. And I know it's hard in the times we're living in right now. But Ryan, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna call you back. I got a couple things I want to say to the boys, or you can stay on. Either way. But I'm glad.
Let me go do a little work. Just call me whenever you're free up. Right, man? Okay. It was good talking to y'all.
Absolutely, fellas. I hope I was able to get something. Y'all say what's up to him. All right, man. Thanks. So, man, I had to let y'all guys get that, and that was Ryan from law enforcement on the federal level, to be able to give some information that's important. Chris, I see you had something to say. What's up? Oh, let me unmute y'all.
No, I think he was saying bye.
Oh, okay. You was just hollering at him, Chris?
No, I was just saying bye. I was just saying bye. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. But no, hopefully y'all got something from that, something that was able to stick with you, because that was important for you guys to get that information. And as parents, we try to hide y'all from certain situations, but I mean, y'all are the very person that's being taken away from us. And I don't hope that on y'all. I don't hope that on none of our young kings that's coming up. So to have the knowledge and the understanding of what you can do to try to change the situation is what's most important. And of course, we can't do anything to bring these people back that we've lost. But that's why it's important, man, and so, like I said, I just hope y'all are able to take something from that. But we didn't got to the end. So real quickly, each one of y'all, give me something that you would leave with the people that's been listening, and then I'll just speak on an announcement that I got. So Hezz, we'll start with you again.
Wait, you said like to leave with the people?
Yeah, just what do you have to say in closing, based on everything you talked about?
I understood what he was saying about like that just because somebody makes a mistake doesn't make them a bad person. I felt what he was saying there, and that everybody makes mistakes. And I guess thanks for watching. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Chris.
Well, me, really, that when he said we opened my eyes about law enforcement and how like us as our people need to like start instead. The only way like we can fix, not the only way, but a way we can fix like all this other stuff going on, how we can stop it as citizens, like just join the forces, like be involved, be people involved in that. It's like you have a way you can stop it legally instead of like push an officer over, like what he said, like I felt that, like that's understandable.
Yeah, go to jury.
You can't do nothing about it. Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna say we got to get on more of that. And I'm gonna just say it, handle it like the white people handle it. They handle it lawfully, but you got to get organized. You got to be informed. You got to know what to do. Dailon.
Yeah.
I say we gotta be smart with our decisions. We gotta think ahead before we do it, and like we gotta be prepared. And always like think at all times, surround yourself with good people. Make sure just what he was saying, like y'all gotta for us because we're younger and when you get pulled over, such and such, get your hand in your wheel and all that. We gotta just think that in the hand. We can't because our friends in the car we think we can show off and try to show off for everybody, you know. It's like a life situation. So you gotta always think about what you know and who around you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, fellas, I appreciate you guys.
So we appreciate you, Coach.
We've reached the end of the show, so I'm gonna let you guys go. We're gonna go out one more time on your song, Hezz, just a quick little snippet of that. But you guys keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused. And Dailon, what's the motto? You know that I teach in chess. When you find a good move, what? When you find a good move, Dailon, what do? He don't remember. Find a better move. When you find a good move. Hey, and you guys go to my page, dadchronicles.com. Get registered for the Walk of Life for everybody that's listening, because this is one of the causes that we're supporting, man. We need our people to stop dying. You know, shout out. Appreciate you guys. Here go Hezzy. Signing off. Reach Podcast. Appreciate you guys. I get with y'all.
So we're supposed to stand right?
Oh no.
All right, y'all boys.
All right, y'all.
Boys.
All right, bro. I'll see y'all later.
All
All right, bet.
For sure.